Welcome back to Gerodynamics. Yes, more movie reviews. And it's interesting, I'm kind of going in reverse order. So I actually saw these longer ago as they're coming out here. But I do that because maybe like the ones that are more recent, you may have a chance to see them in the theaters. But anyways, this one actually is still in the theaters, so I may move it around how I post it. We'll see. This is Send Help. I enjoyed Send Help. I know some people didn't, and there was like it's interesting because there was like a clash, and I am going to do a movie review for the Iron Lung. Um, I think that might be the last one I do of these set of movie reviews. We'll see, because I do want to get to my World of Warcraft. But Send Help and Iron Lung kind of had like a competition where Send Help was the Hollywood, the more expensive, the big name actors, and Iron Lung was the independent type movie. They were both kind of horror movies, although different, completely different genres, completely different movies. Horror is so wide, the genre of horror. There's so many different types of horror movies. And so they were completely different movies for completely different reasons that you would watch just out of different tastes, right? Send Help was good though, and I know a lot of people kind of like bashed it because they were, Iron Lung fans or whatever. I don't know, but I liked it. Let's talk about it. It is directed by Sam Raimi, who I love Sam Raimi, and he's a big name director, especially of these type of horror thriller movies. And he does a good job in this one too. You have writers Damian Shannon and Mark Swift. The actors, big name actors, Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien, both are, kind of on the downturn in their careers, a little bit. They're getting older. They were more like younger, hotter actors years ago. But I think they still have great futures of being able to play like these roles that are not the biggest roles in the world, but you're still going to enjoy watching them. You're still going to want to get in the theaters and see them. Rachel McAdams, Dylan O'Brien, they play. Rachel plays Linda Liddell, and Dylan plays Bradley Preston. All right, who else is in this movie? It says the next big actor or actress is Edel Ismail. I don't really consider that the next biggest character. Um, I mean, yeah, I guess I kind of do because so that's Bradley Preston's fiance is Zuri. Um, so yeah, technically she is, but I can't really go into too much about spoiling the end of the movie. Um, I can't talk about it too much. Anyways, I don't want to spoil the end of the movie for you guys. So she's kind of a third lead in the movie, but the two main actors, it really is tight. Is Linda and Bradley, played by Rachel and Dylan. Um, most of the movie is them on the island, just the two of them. Do I want to touch on any of these other actors or characters? Probably not, because it just is really unnecessary. Like on the actual during the plane crash, Donovan played by Xavier Samuel, Chase played by Chris Pang are kind of important, but that's about it. You have Dennis Haysbert as the character of Franklin for a little bit, so that's kind of fun. Dennis is you'll know him as the commercial actor. It's an insurance company. Is it State Farm or Farmers? One of the two. That's what he's most known for. As far as movies, back in the day, well, he was in 24. He was the president and senator in the series 24. He was in a movie called Far From Heaven. He was in Major League. He was Pedro Serrano in Major League, so that's really where I know him from. He was in a movie called The 13th Floor, and he's the guy from the commercials. Rachel McAdams, just kind of touch on it. You should be familiar with her, but is she from The Notebook? Is that the big one? Yeah, The Notebook, Mean Girls. Mean Girls is a big one. She's in a movie called Red Eye and The Vow. A bunch of other stuff that you're familiar with. Game Night, Doctor Strange. She is Dr. Kristen Palmer in the Doctor Strange movie. Anyways, she's a big actress. And then you have Dylan O'Brien from, is it the Maze movies, the Maze Runner movies? Let's see. the Maze Runner, the Scorched Ruins, the Death Cure. He's in all of them. And then he was in the series Teen Wolf, big character from Teen Wolf. And then he was also in the movie Anniversary, which I don't think I'm going to get all the way back to. I don't think I'm going to do a movie review for that. He was in a movie called Cato Lake, which I also won't be reviewing. Um, yeah, all right. But I like him. I think he's a good actor. And yeah, so basically, let's just talk about the movie real quick. You see it in the trailer. Nothing shocking here. They work in an office together. Dylan's her boss. Well, he becomes her boss after his father passes away, and he takes the role, which happens right at the beginning of the movie. It's not a surprise. Um, and she's expecting to get a promotion. He doesn't give it to her, but then he invites her to come on this business trip to prove herself, even though she's been at the company forever and he thinks she stinks and stuff like that. They play that up in the trailer. It's not nearly as bad in the movie as it is in the trailer. When he says bad odor, it's because she was eating tuna in her office, and then she jumps out of her office to talk to him, and like tuna gets on him. So it's she's definitely not the good guy. Is even though the trailer kind of makes her out to be the good guy, she's definitely not the good guy in this movie. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Um, she has problems. So invites her to go on this business trip, but he's not a good guy either. That's kind of the thing. Is like, they're both like terrible people in their own ways. Um, but he invites her because he needs her numbers ability. She's really good at what she's good at, and she's going to help him, get this account that they need to get for their whatever their business is. It's marketing or something. I don't know. So he invites her on the trip. The plane crashes. They both survive, and they're stranded on this island. And anything else I tell you is going to spoil too much of the movie, so we'll just leave it at that. Go see this movie. If it's still in the theaters for you, go see it. If not, see it on streaming. I really liked it. Hopefully, you guys will too. Take care. Have a good day.